This is Rob Tubbett for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined for the first time by Hassan Azim. We are down here at the lovely University of Kent. How are you, Hassan? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm very well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. That's both yourself and your brother have both asked me how I'm doing at the start of the interview, which is always a good start. Shout out to all of the boxers who don't ask, but anyway, moving on. We are down here today to talk to you about some very exciting news for yourself and your brother. You have joined McGuigan's gym stable down in Kent, or can already see the look on your face that you seem very happy with it.
Yeah, I'm honestly very happy. It's like a dream come true, you know. Training with the best, training in a world-class gym as well, it's just it's a blessing, and at such a young age as well. I don't see many kids that have that opportunity, so I thank God and I thank Shane for giving me this opportunity.
Talk to me about how it first came together. I know that, both yourself and your brother have been down to the gym on various kind of sparring trips and what have you. Talk to me about how it came to pass, how you ended up at McGuigan's gym.
So it all started off from actually Adam when he was sparring Luke Campbell, preparing for Ryan Garcia fight. And then I tagged along and I sparred one of, I think it was Shane, one of Shane's fighters. And honestly, me and Adam, Shane was happy with that performance. The sparring went well, and I see Shane how all his fighters are like, you know, very precise in the shots and things like that. And then when Dad told me that he was, you know, #1 best in the whole world as coaching, and I was like, wow, we're in a world-class gym. So then Shane was happy with our spar, so then he asked us a few questions, and then I said we came to this trial one day, not really a trial, but like to test out how the training is, and it just caught my eyes, and I loved it.
You mentioned your dad saying that he was the #1 trainer in the world. How did you find Shane? What things did you click with Shane straight away? Were there any things that immediately jumped out?
So with Shane, it was just the way he is as coaching the fighters, how positive he is. You know, when it's time for training, he switches on. When it times for fun, he has that other side. And then we have Barry McGuigan, which is Shane's father, who was a ex-former world champion, and that also caught my eye as well. It just runs in a generation for the McGuigans. So yeah.
Yeah, Barry's always about the gym. He's always one of the loudest, if not the loudest person in the certainly in the sparring. So yeah, I'm sure you'll get used to him over the coming years. You mentioned your brother. I just spoke to him. I'm always keen and curious to ask brothers who grow up together, who both box, what it was like growing up with a brother who's similar in age, who boxes. What was that like for you two growing up?
It's like a blessing for us, because imagine if I was training by myself, if you see how boring it would be. Me, I don't have a bit of competition, so let's say in the sprints, who's the fastest, and I always get the fastest time. But with Adam, he's more of a long distance runner. So then he beats me in that sense, because his stamina kicks in, and mine's a bit poor in the running field. But yeah, it was fun having Adam there and training alongside each other. So we're like the Klitschko brothers.
One of the things that I said to him was, the last 18 months, obviously he's very early in his professional career, very frustrating time for everybody, but particularly fighters at the start of their career just want to get out, want to get active. We spoke briefly before we turned the camera on about the fact that you turned pro a year ago. You still yet to make your professional debut. What's that been like for you? Has that been frustrating, or has it allowed you to work on extra things? Obviously you've made this move.
So I also turned over a year ago. I had to let it get to my head. Had 4 training camps. God says it's not time for me. So I had a whole year to prepare myself for fights. So I had to let it get to my head. With the pandemic, it's just nothing you can do. But I just pray that everyone is safe. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a mature way of looking at things. Obviously, there are people in much worse situations than us. And yeah, it's allowed you, as I mentioned, you've got a year further down the line, you've changed camps now, so hopefully, touch wood, now boxing's coming back, or it seems to be opening up, you'll be able to get out there and show the world what you're about.
That's right, and I cannot wait. With Shane's training, and Barry watching over me, and my father and the whole team, it's going to be a good start for me.
So you mentioned about your brother coming down sparring Luke Campbell. You've got in the gym now, people can probably hear him, Anthony Fowler punching in there. You've got Lawrence Okoli, world champion, Daniel Dubois, one of the leading prospects in world boxing. How important is that for you at this stage of your career, to be able to take little bits and pieces from guys in the gym and learn?
Well, honestly, the fighters at Shane McGuigan's, they're very humble. They take time to chat with us and tell us their experience. pros, what to do, what they prefer. So I am gaining a lot of knowledge from them, and it's not just them, also with Shane and Barry. So it is amazing that I'm training alongside the world champions.
Now, one of the things that I asked your brother to tell people who potentially hadn't seen him box, and I'm assuming there's probably going to be people watching this who haven't seen you box yet, in fact you've not turned over, what can we expect from you? What can we expect from you in your style? What type of fighter can we expect to see when you actually eventually make your professional debut?
Well, in the amateur days, most people know me from hitting hard. When I punch, a clean shot, my opponent either wobbles or goes down. So then joining Shane is just tweaking my style to generate more power from the waist, from the leg, waist, into the shoulders. So I'm hopefully expecting a stoppage for my first pro debut, and I believe I can, because I carry a lot of power, and I'm hitting the pads really hard. The spine is great. So I fight like the Hitman Hearns, so he's longer, rangy and powerful. He can fight inwards, he can fight outwards. That's me. I can fight all ways. And if I hit a man, then I'm going back up.
You mentioned Tommy Hearns there, is one of my favourite fighters. My dog's actually named Tommy after Tommy Hearns. Was he one of the influences, one of the fighters you looked at? I asked your brother, he was talking about Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez and the like. Who inspired you? Which fighters?
I have a few others that's inspired me, but Tommy Hearns is my favourite fighter, because his style is like mine. So that's why my name is Hassan the HITMAN Azim. So I'm taking that name on now. I want to carry on through the pro games.
It's quite a burden to take that, isn't it? You got obviously Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Ricky the Hitman Hatton. So you're taking on the Hitman mantle now. You're going to lead that into the new generation.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. I want to take that name into into the future. Now there's not many Hitmans out there, so now I want to continue to carry it.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it. Well, Hassan the Hitman Hearns. Hitman Azim. We'll get there eventually. Hitman Hearns Azim. It's not about. People can certainly worse things to be called than Hitman Hearns. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. The first time. I'm sure it won't be the last. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.